Security and surveillance typically doesn't come cheap. I know I've said that before, but it is true. However, companies like Wyze continue to kick out devices in the category of security and tech and audio that stay in the realm of affordable. So today we're gonna look at one of the devices called the Wyze Video Doorbell Pro. It promises to let you answer your door from anywhere in the world and feel a bit more safe and determine when people drop stuff off and pick it up. Is it junk for under $100 or is it great? Let's talk about it. So this is called the Wyze Video Doorbell Pro, which implies that probably was a Wyze Video Doorbell because there is. It's older, it's shorter, it's smaller, but this Pro means this is supposedly better. And as we go through, I'll probably tell you some of the differences which I've noticed. In the box, what you're gonna find right off the top is a quick start guide, which of course I immediately tossed away because I'm a man and I don't need directions.
12 seconds later.
Did you find where I threw that? I know what I said when we were recording, but then there's the Video Doorbell Pro itself in the box. It's sleeker, it's thinner, but it is larger. And this is primarily because it does have a lithium battery in here that can last up to 6 months on a single charge, which is great because, you know, if you don't want a wired connection, you don't want to fiddle with wires that exist in your house, which some people don't have that, you can just charge this every 6 months. And 6 months is a decent time to charge something, in my opinion. What else is in the box? You're gonna find a chime. Now this is the second part. Which is great because the second part that actually rings, and this goes inside the house, which connects with this one. So when you hit the bell here and the video activates, the chime in there will ring with whatever dedicated sound you've set that to, whether it's a bark or ding or dong ding dong. That's how they communicate, and it'll go through a Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth pairing is direct though. However, it does interact with Wi-Fi for your video streaming and the clips that are gonna be saved either directly to you or to Cam Plus. More about that later. Everything else in the box are things you require to mount them. There are two versions of mounting this thing, which is the cool part about it. One is the wire-free mount. So if you don't wanna wire it to your existing electricals in the house, you put on the back mount, and then there's the adhesive double-sided 3M tape that goes on that, and then you can peel off the other part and then just stick it to whatever surface you want. It's just that simple, and that's it, you're done. To put an extra notch in making it stick in, there's a security screw right underneath here, so that once you've mounted it, you can then tighten that so it's a bit harder to pull off. If you do want it wired, it's just a little bit more technical, but it still is a bit straightforward. Behind, there are two screws that let you wire in your positive and neutral wires, and Bob's your uncle. But keep in mind, it will not activate your existing bell or chime that's in the house. You still have to work with the chime that comes in the box with the Wyze Video Doorbell Pro. So let's quickly talk about the features of this camera. This thing has a 1440p resolution, which is slightly higher than full HD, a 1:1 ratio at 150 degrees field of view vision. So you can see top to bottom pretty much anybody who's standing in front of your door. And depending on the placement, maybe even a little more right all the way to your patio. It has 6 night vision LEDs with passive infrared. So basically, even at night, this should still be able to see pretty clearly. And because of the passive infrared, you get less false detections, which can be very annoying if it detects every single leaf that blows across it, depending on the setting in your app. It does support 2.5 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi bandwidth connection. That way you can get a stronger connection regardless of where you are. More importantly, it does have IP65 dust and water resistance. So because it's gonna be outside, that makes perfect sense. So hail, snow, water splashing on it isn't gonna damage this bad boy. Again, makes perfect sense. Finally, it has two-way audio so that, you know, when someone's knocking, so that you can tell the person that you're not home and they can hear you and have a conversation when you're not home. And just like everything, well, is it everything? I think most things with Wyze, yeah, pretty much everything with Wyze. This runs on the Wyze app. So you go in there, you see where all your Wyze devices live, and you just hit the plus button and add this to join the family. And when you do that, you can do pretty much a bunch of things, like determine your detection settings. Do you want it to send you alerts when it sees a human being versus, or do you want to get notified when someone drops off a package from Amazon or Jumia or Konga or one of those online stores, because it can read labels, again, depending on the setting of your app. You can set the sensitivity, so it's a bit touchy to see, detect everything or how long you want the video to run, when you want to receive notifications. So a good idea would be to turn off notifications when you're asleep because you don't want it bugging you. But if you are security paranoid, it may make sense to just leave them on all night. Another great feature is that it does support rules because it is a smart doorbell and it integrates with your smart app, integrates with your Wyze ecosystem or other smart apps. If you have a smart bulb, you can set rules of what happens when you press the doorbell. So other than just chiming in the house, other things that are smart can automatically activate as well from hitting that button. This is gonna be outside, and if your door has access to everyone, there are things to consider, like what if it gets stolen? And it is possible, to be honest, it is possible. It wouldn't take too much to rip it off, but let's look at the options here. The first thing that tries to help you secure this is that security screw I talked about underneath here. It really bolts that on, so there's gonna be some serious ripping going on that wall and struggle with it for a while. 2, you do get a picture or a video of the person who's doing the ripping. So you have a picture of the thief, but depending on where you live, that may not be relevant at all. It might not be helpful at all. Third thing is, which I think will probably annoy the thief more than it would annoy you, is that this thing then sort of becomes useless because it will not chime or work without the companion unit inside the house. So yeah, there's that. You both have a dud device. Great device all around. Wyze are my people, but I guess because of financial costs, there are some things they have to make calls on and setbacks. First of all, this thing uses USB micro. It's 2022 right now. I'm reviewing this device. This device came out this year, if I'm not mistaken, and was announced last year. And, you know, micro. So that's one more way I have to worry about keeping in my house versus a universal, which I'm gonna use to charge everything. 2, it doesn't come with a micro SD card, so I cannot store footage on this device locally or inside the house. That's because they want you to buy their Cam Plus service, which uploads your footage to the cloud, you know, basically subscription model. I can't knock them too hard for that because the whole world is going to subscription model. And that's really the things that bother me about this device. Other than that, for a buy of under $100, in fact, you could probably get some deals right now that comes with the chime, night vision, waterproof, mostly weatherproof, easy installation, especially if you're not using the wire model. I think it's totally worth the money. Wyze is a great company, they know what they're doing. And that's my take on this. The quality is great. You can knock it down from full HD down to SD if you're struggling with bandwidth, and so on and so forth. The customizations are pretty much endless. And that's my take on the Wyze Video Doorbell Pro. I think it's a solid buy. I totally recommend it for those of you who are security paranoid, like a couple of people I know. All right, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I'll try to answer them real time. Do take care. Bye-bye.